Now we have three layers in our application: UI, backend, and front end. But if you think about modules, we have two major modules: products and orders. Now, when the project is managed in a corporate setting, they often do vertical slice development. What I mean by that is they take products as a one feature. So you can see this vertical slice. They develop that feature fully and then release it. Then they pick up orders and they develop the whole vertical slice and then they release it. The other approach would be you do database development for all the modules, then you do backend development for all the modules, and then you do UI development for all the modules. The disadvantage of that approach is that if you keep your UI towards the end, then it will take long time before your customer sees anything. But in this case, you can just build products module, give it to your grocery store owner, ask him to start using it. So you get feedback earlier. Uh, Now for software project development, companies use a process called Scrum. Scrum allows you to break down and prioritize your task, and it is a very, very popular technique that is being used in majority of the software companies. And the tool that allows you to do Scrum is called Jira. Jira is a very popular tool from Atlassian that is being used in majority of the companies who are doing Scrum based project management. Now, for if you want to know more about Scrum, then there is this website called scrumtrainingseries.com. It has little videos, 10-minute, 15-minute videos. These videos are awesome. So you should see these videos. These videos will be very helpful when you join any company as a software developer, as a data scientist. Even in non-tech companies, they use Scrum for doing a project development. Okay, now what we have done here is I created an empty folder called grocery app where I have created two subfolders, backend and UI. And these folders are empty right now. This is empty. I don't know why the arrow is showing up. Backend will contain our Python Flask code. UI will contain our HTML code. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm building a products page. Okay, so our goal is to build this product page where you can do add new product. You can list all the products. So I'm going to write a file called products.dao. What the heck is DAO? It is data access object. It's a common terminology that is used in the industry. And let me go to my meditation, my Zen mode. All right. Now I just Googled it and found this driver for MySQL. So driver is basically a Python module that allows you to connect to a database. So what we're going to do is, see, in this query, if you write this query, it returns all the products. So in my table, I have inserted all these products. You can just, you can just double click here, type in products, click on apply, it will insert the record. I'm going to execute same query from Python and retrieve all these products in my Python code. And I need this MySQL connector module. And to install it, you can see, by the way, I have a GitHub page. So let me just show you. So I have a GitHub page for the grocery store app. And on that, I have given installation instruction. So pip install MySQL connector Python. That will install that module for you. Now, first thing is, how do you connect to a database? So let's just copy paste this code. So what we're doing is we're connecting to our database, and username and password is root. What is the database name? Well, it's grocery underscore store. See, whatever you have here, you should type it that here, grocery. When I run it, nothing happens, which means the database connection worked okay. I want to now query the products. Okay. So for that, again, I go back to documentation. There is a code snippet for querying products. So for querying products, the first thing you need is cursor. Okay. So cursor allows you to execute the query. So you can say cursor.execute and query. All right. What is my query? query is something. What the heck is my query? Well, I can copy paste. Okay. And once query is executed, the results are within a cursor and you can iterate through those results. So you can say for a tuple, some tuple in cursor, do something. Okay, what is this tuple? Well, this tuple is exactly your column names. So column names are uh, product ID, name, let's see, what are my, yeah, product ID, name, ID, price per unit. So I am going to do some copy paste. You need to know copy paste skill in order to become a better or an effective software developer. Okay, when you execute this, not enough values to unpack. Okay, I don't have a unit name actually. See, I got all these values. I got these values, but my UM is still ID. See, I don't have like a kg or a each. So I need that. And for that, you need to do a join. So you need to do a join on a UM ID. So our UM table knows, see, UM table knows one is kg. So I want to do that here. So what we have to do is I will, instead of just saying star, I will explicitly say what are my columns that I want. So I want products.product ID, products.is, whatever, right? And I'm doing inner join. So from this, and then inner join, UOM. So you are inner joining products with UOM table. On means which column you are doing inner join. Well, products dot UOM ID is equal to UOM dot UOM ID. If you do control enter, it will execute the query, but I still don't see UOM because I have to specify that in select. So I will say UOM dot UOM name, because UOM name is in UOM table. Okay, so I'm saying UOM table dot UOM name. Okay, and when I do control enter, see, I got this. Perfect. So all I need to do is now copy this query to my Python code, and so my query will be this. And here, of course, in the end, you have to say UOM name, UOM name. So now I get UOM name, kg, each, whatever. But my code is not modular. I want to make it modular, So I want to have if name is equal to main, then call some function called get all products, which just retrieves me all the products. Okay, so how about I make that function get all products, and so by the way, you need to store all this in a array and return it. So I will create a list and insert dictionary objects. Okay, so copy paste is the mantra of my success. Okay, and you of course need to return, and right click run. See, my products are coming here. You see all the products, every product is a dictionary object, so they are coming up along with UOM name. Very good. Now I want to make my code even more modular. See, I have this fascination for modularity. So I want to move my SQL connection code into a separate file. such that connection is passed as a variable into this function. Okay, so and connection will be passed here. So this connection should be something. What is that something? Well, I will just create a file called SQL connection. And in this, I will just say get SQL connection. That will be my function. And I return it. Now, if I call this function multiple times, it is gonna create multiple connections. For that reason, I will just store this in a global variable. And in Python, if there is a global variable, use underscore underscore convention. And so what I'm saying is now, if this is none, then only create it. You see, if this is none, then only create that variable, return it. So now, oh, you have to specify this person here and get SQL. So from SQL connection import. Okay, again copy paste. So this is returning you SQL connection. So I will just say get SQL connection here, right click, run, works like a charm. So now our code is modular. It is creating SQL connection in a different file. And whenever you use it, need it, you just pass it in a function argument. Okay, so my all products is done. So when I have this web page, I will call that function on this web page and it will list all my products. How about add new product? Well, you need to write a function to add new product. Okay, I can write it. So let's see. Okay. So right now I have this many products. Okay. If I want to insert a new product, all I do is say insert into products. Okay. Values. So here you specify column name, and so column name is this, and here you specify values. So what are the values? So see, by the way, I'm not specifying product ID because it's an auto increment column, so it's going to increment on its own. So I want to insert a new product. Let's say spinach. And spinach is like a bunch, so it's each, so UMID will be 1. And spinach, let's say, is 34 rupees, 34.5. By the way, you have to put single quote around all these values, otherwise it will scream. And when you control enter, execute it, see, it inserted a product. See here, you see one row affected, green, green. So when you click here, I see a product. So I have this query. All I need to do is put this query into my Python code. Okay, so I'm gonna design a new function called this. Okay, and in this function, what is my query? Well, my query is this. So this is how you specify your value. So it's called parameterized query, where when you do, see, normally you do cursor.execute and pass query, right? But you need to also pass data, and data will be these 3 parameters. So I learned all of this from here only. See, it's saying querying a data, and here see percentage s, percentage s. So that's what we have here. So let's say, let's think about it. Like, what do we want to pass as a product here? Well, it will be a dictionary. Okay. And the dictionary is, let's say, this. Okay, cabbage. I'm putting cabbage. Cabbage. So it's a dictionary. So this product will be a dictionary. And here in the values, you need to specify name, UMID, price per unit. So you will say product name here, or rather product name, UMID, price per unit. And once it is executing, you need to do connection.commit, and then you can return cursor.last row ID. So it will return you the row ID of the last row that has been inserted. So if you run it, so it's returning me 13, which means it inserted this row fine. Okay, what was the row? Cabbage. Okay, cabbage. See, I don't have a cabbage. I have only 12 rows. Now when I execute this query again, I got my cabbage. Yeah, hooray! It's working. Hard to believe it's working. Otherwise, like code first time usually doesn't work. Okay, now let's write our last function, which is a delete row. And it is so simple, I'm gonna just copy paste. So delete queries, delete from products where product ID is equal to whatever. Okay, so we will delete cabbage. So I'll say delete product, row ID for cabbage, rather product ID for cabbage is 13. See, 13 is the product ID. That's what I'm specifying. So product ID will go here, it will come here, and the query will be delete from products where product ID is equal to 13. All right, and now execute again. See, cabbage is gone. So my delete function is also working. Whenever you have a question on SQL query, just ask Google. Okay, so you say, okay, SQL delete query. Most of the time, w3schools.com website will pop up. They will have a nice simple example with the sample query. You can just copy paste. It's so easy to learn this SQL. I hope you like this session. In this session, we wrote Python backend code for products. In the next session, we are going to write the UI code for product, and we'll connect it with this backend code so that our product page will be fully functional. I hope you're liking these videos so far. If you do, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.